Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Leo Be the Lion show. Just wanted to say thank you if you're watching this video. Just take a moment to like, subscribe. I'll give you the preview of what we'll be talking about today, and we'll be able to, if you'd like, comment on the video and also let us know what you think about the topics. So, we're going to be talking today about. Oh, let's get into it. Boom, boom. It's the Leo Be the Lion show. Gonna tell you what you need to know. It's the Leo Be the Lion show. All right, everybody, let's get into it. It's your boy Leo Be the Lion coming to you, talking to you today on the Leo Be the Lion show about 4 sports topics. What I'm gonna try to do going forward with my new radio show is to give you 4 sports topics where they're debatable, where there are both sides, and I'm going to tell you what side I fall on. So you'll be able to comment on the podcast as well as comment on the videos once I start recording video with the podcast. So that's going to be Mondays from 5 to 6 starting July 25th. That's this Monday coming up from 5 to 6 at Respectable Street. I'll be broadcasting live via a local radio station. It's a throwback to the old days where you had the counter radio station where you were able to say to yourself, oh, let me turn on the local radio station that's down the street. And it would have about a mile, half-mile radius. And you'd be able to listen to that radio station and be able to chat with the MC as soon as you are, if you're walking down the street, the window's open, you'll be able to chat. So the Subculture radio station is about that, and the Subculture radio station wants to bring that back. So we'll be talking about that, and we'll be making sure that when I do broadcast, it's broadcast live via the radio station. So if you're in the downtown West Palm Beach area, specifically the Clematis area, you'll be able to listen to it. And also, it's going to be downloadable as a podcast via subcultureradiostation.com. So let's get into it. First, the 4 topics that I want to talk about today are the Dolphins roster preview. I want to continue that. This is going to be like a part 2 preview because last time I did I did the defensive line. I I'd also previewed the secondary, and I previewed the wide receivers, or the tight ends, excuse me. So today, I'm going to be talking about the Dolphins linebacking core, the Dolphins offensive line, and the Dolphins quarterbacks. I'm going to be breaking down these positions and telling you why I think that they're overrated, they're underrated, or they're properly rated. So we can get into it in a moment. And then I'm going to be bringing you also Madden's ratings. Now, this is something that's near and dear to my heart because I've been playing Madden since probably NFL Madden back in like 1995. And so I've seen it change a lot over the years and not necessarily for the better. So I'm going to be breaking down the current Dolphins ratings that they've released. They haven't released the whole ratings for the whole team yet and the overall team rating, but it's not looking good for the Dolphins. So I'll be giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to those ratings because there's definitely 3 sides to it. Then I'm going to be jumping into Lamar Jackson's contract. Lamar Jackson's contract situation is an interesting one. One, for a few reasons, and I'll get into that. And I just want to know and I want to hear in the comments, if you'd like to respond in the comments, what do you think is going to happen with Lamar Jackson's contract situation? It's very important that he gets a deal done so he can keep playing for the Ravens. I mean, I'm not a Ravens fan, I'm a Dolphins fan, but I feel that Lamar Jackson is set up to win on the Ravens, and they need to pay that man, especially since Kyler Murray just got signed. So, got extended. So, and then the 4th topic that I'm going to talk about is Miami Marlins. The Miami Marlins can't score a run. They can't hit the broadside of a barn at this point. So, we'll get into that. So, let's just talk about the first topic that I want to talk about today is the Dolphins roster preview. The Dolphins roster is interesting because I think they're so underrated. the rest of the NFL doesn't see I don't know if it's because we're down in the South of Miami or what's the reason, but the Dolphins seem to be underrated greatly they are, when other analysts look at them. I don't know if it's the ESPN Northeast bias, but it just seems like they're underrated. But there's three position units that I want to look at today, and that is the linebackers, the offensive line, and the quarterbacks. So first, let's get into the linebackers. The three starting linebackers according to the Dolphins 2022 depth chart are uh, Van Ginkel, Landon Roberts, and Jerome Baker, and they are going to be so important to the team because we have a great defensive line in my opinion, and then we have one of the top secondaries in the league in my opinion. So now, are we going to be able to cover the tight ends, cover the running backs, and or stop the run with these linebackers, or be able to play some zone type of coverage, some zone underneath, or some little man? We have fast linebackers, but they're not necessarily the best in coverage. They can still improve. There's still a lot of room for improvement in coverage. So I think the most important linebacker personally in this bunch is Jerome Baker, because he's the middle linebacker one, but he also is great at tackling. He has a motor that never quits, and he's able to he's a leader on the defensive side. And if he can step his game up a little bit more, and Andrew Van Ginkel can get involved and keep making plays that he's always do. I call him Gink. Oh, and we drafted Channing Tyndale, and I think, is going to be he's one of the fastest linebackers that came out of the combine and came out of college, and I think that he'll be a nice addition to the linebacking core. And so, speaking of the linebacking core, I really think it's important for the Dolphins to get the most that they can out of this linebacking core. Now they had Jalen Phillips on the depth chart as a linebacker, as a rushing linebacker, but I personally have him as an end. So I include him on the ends preview, on the defensive line preview. So now we're going to be transitioning to the offensive side of the ball. When you think of the Dolphins' offensive line, what grade would you give it last year? I personally would probably give it like a C minus. It wasn't F in my opinion. It wasn't horrid, but it wasn't great by any means. It was below average. So with the addition of Teron Armstead and Connor Williams, I think that our offensive line has been rearranged a little bit. And now we have a young offensive line and a promising offensive line. So I'll go from left tackle, left guard, center, right guard, right tackle. I'll go through their names really quickly. We have Teron Armstead, Liam Eichenberg, Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, and Austin Jackson. Now, having Tua start, he's left-handed. So in reality, the most important guy should be the right tackle, because but traditionally, if you have a right-handed quarterback, the left tackle is most important because that's guarding the quarterback's blind side. Well, Tua's lefty, so you would think they might want to put Teron Armstead on the right tackle. But no, they're going with Austin Jackson right now with the depth chart according to the Dolphins. So I believe that Austin Jackson can get it done. He's young, and he was at left tackle, but he was getting kind of burnt at left tackle. So I think that he can get it done at right tackle, especially with Robert Hunt and the guard backing him up. And then you have Connor Williams, who was playing guard for the Cowboys, and now he's at center. And I think that he's a little bit bigger for a center, but I think that he can really lead the offensive line and be a captain on the offensive line. And then we have Liam Eichenberg, who's out of Notre Dame, and I believe he's out of Notre Dame, and he is a young third-year player, I believe, and he'll be able to show why he's able to take care of business and he'll be more comfortable in the left guard situation, especially if you have Terran Armstead on the island all alone, getting the right ends and the rush ends. So I think that the Dolphins' offensive line, if it can go from a C minus, let's say, to a B plus, if the Dolphins have a B plus offensive line, they're going to be dangerous. They're going to be dangerous because I believe, as like a lot of people do, that the offensive and defensive line are two of the most important things, the most important units on the football field. Because if you have an offensive line that can produce holes for the running back, can pass block, then you have a great chance of your offense being successful. If you have a defensive line that can disrupt the run, stop the run, and then penetrate and rush the passer, you have a great chance of being successful. So those two units for the Dolphins, I think right now the defensive line is probably, besides the secondary, the best unit on the Dolphins. And then you, beside and the wide receivers, of course. But then the offensive line, if the offensive line can be the pride of the Dolphins and keep Tua upright, they're gonna be just fine. Super Bowl contenders. I like to say they're gonna be 12-5. The Dolphins are gonna be 12-5. They're not gonna get the division, the AFC East division. They're not gonna win that. I think that it's gonna be the Bills that are gonna be 13-4, and the Dolphins are gonna be 12-5, and we're gonna get the wild card, and then we'll be able to make some moves in the playoffs and hopefully have a good matchup in the playoffs and at least make it to the AFC Championship. It's dangerous, but I think the Dolphins can do it. So now let's go to the third position that I want to talk about today and break down and give you a preview for is the quarterback position. The two main quarterbacks, I'm not going to talk about Skylar Thompson because he's not really going to get any play this year, God willing, if they don't get hurt. So we're going to talk about Tua and Teddy. First of all, let's talk about the backup quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater coming over, journeyman quarterback coming over from Denver. He is an accurate quarterback. He's very aware, and he's been around the block. He's a seasoned vet. He's probably, if not, he might be the best backup in the league. So having Teddy Bridgewater sort of mentor, sort of help Tua along in that way, and he's kind of been around the block, he knows he'll be able to help Tua, and he'll probably help Tua more than Fitzpatrick did, because Fitzpatrick was the super journeyman, was never really had the ceiling, and at the same time, he said he didn't really want to. He wanted to start. So there was that, butt heads against the Fitzpatrick and Tua. So now that Tua has Teddy Bridgewater, I really think that Teddy Bridgewater will be able to help Tua, and then God forbid if Tua gets hurt, Teddy Bridgewater will step in and be a great quarterback and just be a bridge until Tua gets back. Now, let's talk about Tua Tagovailoa. Tua, people underrate Tua so much because they say, oh, he doesn't have a strong arm. He doesn't have a strong arm. But guess what? He threw a 30-yard dime to Devontae Smith, or I can't remember. Yeah, to Devontae Smith to win this national championship. He's been playing with fast receivers. He played with fast receivers and burners in Alabama, and Jalen Waddle and Devontae Smith and all them. So he played with all those guys. He knows how to throw a deep ball because he's thrown it with Jalen Waddle. He's thrown it with Devontae Smith. He's done that before. Yeah, his hip was hurt. And a lot of people don't realize that if you can't get your hips into a throw, you can't get your hips into a swing, you can't get your hips into rotation, and you can't activate your hips, you lose a lot of power on your throws, or you lose a lot of power on your swings. So Tua, now that he's fully healthy, it's like almost like ACL where it takes almost 2 years to get out of it. Now that he's fully healthy, he's going to show y'all what he can do. He's been practicing his arm strength. He's already accurate. He may be one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. And the reason why I say that is because if you look at his completion percentage, it's like number 7 last year. His completion percentage was number 7 last year out of all quarterbacks. That's pretty darn good. So I really think he's an accurate quarterback. I really think this offense with Mike McDaniel is going to fit him. If they run a West Coast offense, I'm not saying that just because he came from the 49ers, but if they run a type of West Coast offense where it's like get the ball out of the quarterback's hands, a timing offense, swing passes, screen passes, slam passes, little dump offs, little shovel passes, at the same time then take a shot deep and have the quarterback get out and be able to roll out and stuff, I really think that that's going to be Tua's best way for him to succeed, because he'll be able to make those quick decisions, put the ball where it needs to be accurately, on time, and get the ball out of his hands so that his weapons like Tyreek Hill, Mike Gesicki, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Waddle, shall I go on, Chase Edmonds, are all going to be able to get off. Let's go Dolphins. All right, next. Now I want to take time and talk about the doggone Madden 23 ratings. First of all, Madden, what's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? You always, and this is not just me talking. This is, if you go on Twitter, at Leo Be the Lion Show, by the way. If you go on Twitter, follow me. If you go on Twitter, you will see, you will see, every Dolphin fan on there knows that Madden always shafts the Dolphins' ratings. If you're a great player and you go to the Dolphins, your rating goes down by 2 to 5 points, guaranteed. So I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly. The good. Let's start with the good. Give me the good news first. Yeah, okay, the good. So the good is that the Dolphins, Tyreek Hill, they properly rated him at 97 overall. He's got 99 speed, 99 acceleration, and 99 agility, or 98 agility. Yeah, his catch is 88, but he's got a good catch in traffic, and he's got good awareness. And his agility, everything is off the chain. So I really think that that's the good part of Madden. Okay, now that I've only said one player as the good in Madden 23 for the Dolphins ratings, let's go to the bad. Okay, I'm not going to get mad because I was mad yesterday when it came out, but they have Xavier Howard as the 11th best rated cornerback in Madden 23. Yes, the 11th, not the 1st, not the 1st, not the 7th, the 11th rated cornerback in NFL. Hold on, I'm about to pull up these ratings and show y'all. I'm about to show y'all. No, just they have players like, oh my gosh, they have Jalen Ramsey number 1, of course, but there's no way that X should be a top 5 cornerback in the league. He's had 15 interceptions the last 2 years. He has 27 interceptions since 2016. I think that leads the league. And he's only 89 overall. That's criminal. He's one of the best man-to-man coverage corners in the league, and they have him not even in the top 10 of man coverage. They have his man coverage as 89 and 89, and zone coverage as 89. And to me, that's just lazy. The Madden Raiders are lazy. I don't know what they're doing. Hold on, I'm going back to it. Here we go. I'm about to pull it up. His play recognition, 92. Okay, that's pretty good. I think he should have been at least 92 or higher rated. Madden, get your shit together. That's messed up. Come on, man. Should be on Come On, Man when they start Monday Night Football, how bad they rated the Dolphins. His zone coverage, 89. Okay. And then you have man coverage, 89. Bro, if you watch film on Xavier Howard's man coverage, yeah, sometimes he does get beat. But what corner doesn't get beat sometimes? Is it Jalen Ramsey got burnt in the Super Bowl, and he's still 98 overall. So what I'm saying is, Xavier Howard, bro, why wasn't he rated higher than this thing? Come on, man, higher than 89. And Byron Jones is 87, so that's okay. The only player that the Dolphins are going to have that's rated over 90 is Tyreek Hill. And that's messed up because at least you rely on, like, you think players that get like a lot of sacks or break up plays, like Emmanuel Ogba is going to be at least rated 90, or Melvin Ingram, or you think that players like Xavier Howard, who's an All-Pro last 2 years as a corner, top 5 corner in the league, is going to be rated over 90. But no, he's tied for 11th in top 10 quarterbacks. He's 11th. Come on, bro. Now I'm going to go to the ugly. It's coming out today. I'm nervous, but I know they're going to rate. I know they're going to rate to a uglified. Like, they're probably going to rate him at like 73, 74. Follow Josh House on Twitter. Housh, I think it's Housh on Twitter. He's a huge Dolphins fan. He follows the Dolphins closely. He says that in the beta version of Madden 23, Tua was 74 overall. Yeah, they're just going to try Tua, and it's just going to be so ugly when I see it, and it's just going to hurt my heart because they're probably going to give him they're probably going to give him short accuracy of like 90, mid-range accuracy of like 83, and then deep accuracy probably they're going to give him like 75. And then what they're going to do is they're going to probably give him throwing power of some BS like 70 or 69, so you really can't do crap with Tua. And then they're going to probably make him slow, and they're probably going to say he can't juke anybody. And they're probably going to say he has bad carry. And they're probably going to say that his awareness is trash. And it's just BS. Because if anything, his awareness is better than that. His accuracies are better than that. Yo, he may not be as fast, but he's not like a 69 speed quarterback. He's probably like a 77 speed quarterback, which is still straight for a quarterback. And then he's definitely should have a better juke, because if you saw some of the film last year, Madden Raiders, you would see that he was juking. He had that little dead leg juke on lock. And he got like 3 people. He got, if you look at Deion Jones or whatever from the Falcons, broke off from Tua's juke. So that's the ugly part about the Madden ratings. The good, yeah, they got the Tyreek Hill rating right. The bad, they messed up on the X rating, on the Xavier Howard rating. And the ugly, they're just going to rate Tua shittily. And so I just know that's coming. So let's switch it real quick from the Dolphins to the Baltimore Ravens. I want to talk about what's going on with Lamar Jackson's contract. What is going on with Lamar Jackson's contract? Sign the man. Yeah, he's his own agent. Yeah, his mom's agent. Whatever, that doesn't matter. Is Lamar Jackson a top 10 quarterback? Well, no, let me put it this way. Is Lamar Jackson better than Kyler Murray? The answer is yes. 100%, 115, 1,000% yes. Lamar Jackson in any realm is better than Kyler Murray. So I want to know why Kyler Murray gets a 5-year, $230 million extension with $160 million guaranteed. Lamar Jackson just basically has to say, yo, you see that contract? Add 10 to 15 mil on the front end. Add 10 to 15 or 15 to 25 mil on the guaranteed. Yo, we got a deal. What's wrong with the Ravens? They need to sign Lamar Jackson. They need to sign Lamar Jackson. Trust me. Yeah, some people say he's not the most accurate, but that's just what I want to get through to my listeners, to my watchers today, to my viewers. I mean, the watchers. This isn't damn Harry Potter or something. What I want to get through to my viewers is that a lot of NFL storylines, a lot of NFL narratives, and the way people see the players are based on following the popular storyline. And many times that's not true. For instance, people always said, oh, Bob Greasy, great quarterback. Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. But he won in the undefeated season. Earl Morrall won 11 of those games. So, but people give a lot of the praise to Bob Greasy. So it's the same thing with Lamar Jackson. They say, oh, he's not accurate. Or they say Shaq can't shoot free throws. Yeah, because they say he shot 60% or whatever from the free throw line. But guess what? He made it when it counts. Made it when it counts. Lamar Jackson can make it when it counts. He's an MVP. He just hasn't had success in the playoffs because his team hasn't been able to, or they've had injuries at the wrong time. So we'll see. I really think that Lamar Jackson needs to be signed. They need to get him under contract so they can get him into camp. I really think it's important to sign the man. He's an MVP. He's a former MVP. What are you going to say? He's a revolutionary player. You don't want him on your team? Dolphins will take him. Let's go. All right. Now, we're going to switch gears again, one more time, to talk about the Marlins offense. I've been to 2 Marlins games this year, and they lost both of them. One 3-2, the other one 5-3, and it was tough to see them struggle on offense. You want to root for the players. You want to root for B.A. Brian Anderson. You want to root for Cooper. You want to root for Jazz Chisholm. Jazzy. You want to root for all them. But it's hard when they're getting shut out. The Dolphins. Lord. The Marlins, the Miami doggone Marlins, have great pitching. Possibly a Cy Young, Sandy Alcantara. They drafted with their first round draft pick a pitcher, the number 1 pitching prospect. But they can't hit the broadside of a barn. Check this out. The Dolphins this year have had their franchise longest inning scoreless streak ever. So they've gone the last 32 innings. Game is 9 innings, so 27 innings is 3 games, plus 5 innings. They've gone 32 innings without scoring a single run. They've been shut out the last 3 games. They just lost to the crappy Texas Rangers yesterday, 8-0. And now they're going to Pittsburgh today to play the Pittsburgh Pirates. I really like their chances to put some runs on the board. I'm not even going to say get a win. But if they have any chance of sneaking into the wild card, because they're like 6.5 games now back, if they have any chance, they got to score some runs. That's the one thing about pitching, or the one thing about baseball that I think is the baseball woes, or is where baseball struggles to attract new fans, is because in every other sport, basketball, football, the defense can score. There's an opportunity to get a steal, to get an interception, take it to the house and dunk, or get an interception and take it to the house and get your 6 points. In baseball is such an inherently defensive sport. My theory is that if there was something to improve the scoring of baseball, more fans would come back because they wouldn't care as much about the pitching. Yeah, you have to really appreciate good defense to be a baseball fan. Because a typical baseball fan is a 1-run game. A typical baseball game is a 1-run game. When they do the betting lines, it's always 1.5 points either way. It's never 2 or more. It's just always 1.5 points either way. And they also value good pitching beats good hitting every time. And so when they took the steroids away, when they took all these offensive options away, more fans left the sport because like I said, you really have to appreciate the slow nature of defense, the efficient nature of defense, to be able to get that double play, the nice style of the double play, a great strikeout, a perfect pitch. You have to be able to really appreciate that 2-seamer that just looks like it's going out of the strike zone, just sits, boom, paints the outside of the strike zone. So that's my theory as for why baseball isn't as popular today. Back in the day, people had time to sit around and could appreciate that, and it's like, oh, we don't see a lot of scoring, but we can appreciate the double play, great pitching, a shutout, perfect game. But the casual fan now wants to see the scoring. Chicks dig the long ball, right? They want to see a nice double, maybe an inside the park home run. They want to see their team score. So when the Marlins go into the All-Star break on a little bit of a hot streak, on a little bit of momentum riding high, they go into the All-Star break. Then they find out Sandy Alcantara is not going to start. Now the last 3 games, they haven't scored. Uh, they haven't scored in the last 3 games, yo. So it's really frustrating as a Marlins fan, as a Dolphins fan, as a Magic fan, and as a UCF fan. I want to see scoring, but I can still appreciate defense. I think I'm falling in love again with baseball. I used to, growing up, I could appreciate really baseball a ton. I loved all the sports: soccer, baseball, basketball, football, hockey. I would follow any sport. But as I've grown older, it's been harder and harder to follow baseball. One, probably because the Marlins haven't been good in the last 10 to 15 years. Two, probably because it's just, it's harder to watch baseball now. Like I said, you have to be ready to sit down you might not see your team score anything the whole game. And it's so rare because in basketball, you know the team's going to score. In football, you might see a field goal, you might see exciting plays, but you might also see a defensive touchdown or a defensive play that's just as exciting. So that's where it feels like, okay, now your offense is back on the field. You just got to intercept, you just got to fumble. Now you can try and score, and it's so exciting. Baseball needs to figure out a way to bring that excitement back and kind of like package that excitement and really make it so that tilt, at least not, don't change all the rules, but tilt it so that the offense has a little bit more opportunity to score, because it really sucks when it's the 7th inning and you're down by 4 runs and you look at the chance for them to come back and you're down by 4 runs, or the 7th or 8th inning, and you're down by 4 or 3 or even 2 runs, and you say to yourself, there's no chance we're going to come back. You guys want to leave early? Like that's the worst thing baseball could ask for, is that, oh, we're not going to watch the game. Why watch it? Oh, it's 5-1 in the 5th inning. Oh, Marlins are done. Let me turn the game off. No, I don't want to watch it. So it's like, that's the frustrating part about baseball. So let's just recap real quick. Talked about Dolphins positions: linebackers, offensive line, QBs. Then I talked about Dolphins Madden ratings: the good, the bad, the ugly. After that, I went into how Lamar Jackson should have a new contract, especially since Kyler Murray just got a 5-year, $230 million extension, $160 million guaranteed. Lamar Jackson is definitely a better quarterback than Kyler Murray is in every metric that you can measure, and so he should get more money than Kyler Murray. And talked about how the Marlins' offensive woes continue. 32 straight innings without a run, and a 3.5 game doggone scoreless streak. So get it together, Marlins. This has been the Leo Be the Lion Show, brought to you by myself and I. And listen to me live Mondays 5 to 6, subcultureradiostation.com. I'll be broadcasting live. Download the podcast and learn something about sports. I'll be also bringing in business aspects to it, of how it, bringing you why these business implications for sports make the difference in what you watch, make the difference in your entertainment value, and also make the difference in how it trickles down to you. And also, I want to bring in more guests. If you own a business, if you grew up in the West Palm Beach area, or if you're interested in talking about sports, come through, you know, shoot me a message on Instagram, LeoBeTheLion87, or at LeoBeTheLion Show on Twitter, and I will set up a time to schedule you so we can maybe do an interview and talk about the sports topics. Ideally, I'm going to talk about 4 sports topics a show, and then I want to devote 10 to 15 minutes for you to talk about what you want to talk about, and I can interview you. It'll be an interview style, really open-ended. How did you feel when you started your business? What business did you want to get into that you ended up getting into? Or what do you do now? How do you like your job? What are some ways that you think that, you know, you growing up in West Palm Beach affected how you see things. I want to talk to those people and also people that I went to school with. So if you went to Suncoast High School, if you went to UCF, and you live in the West Palm Beach area, and you want to schedule an interview with me, you can come on the show, and we can record the show, and you can have it as free marketing or free branding for you. And I'd like to have you on the show. So let me know. Like I said, hit me up on Twitter at Leo B the Lion Show, just spelled just like how it is, and on Instagram Leo B the Lion 87. Look me up on Facebook, Leo Bejarano, and we can get in contact and we can schedule something where if you don't want to go live, we could possibly do an interview and then put it up as just a straight podcast where it could be pre-recorded and we can just have it and put it up. And you'd be able to market that how you would like. And also, I'd be able to put that on my show and add to the portfolio. So, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe and like and comment. I love the feedback. I love to hear feedback. If you don't agree with me, or if you agree with me, if you think I'm full of BS, let me know. I want to hear about it because I want to hear your side because then that makes the debate a little bit better. I want to hear what you have to say because I'm bringing you sports and business from a South Florida flavor, South Florida perspective, South Florida native. Not a Florida man, but a Florida man. You know what I'm saying? So I want to bring you that. But at the same time, I want to hear what you have to say because I believe in connecting to the people. I believe in opening doors for others and trying to help them come along. So have a great day, everybody. Leo be the Lion signing off.